Episode 5, Fun with Buttons, with me, Ryan, the Button Man. Welcome back, everybody. So, we're talking about the 80s and the 90s now. A little bit more up my alley. I was born in the 80s, raised in the 90s. So, we started in the 80s. We got Atari, Pac-Man, MTV, Max Headroom. Now, if you don't know who Max Headroom is, please, again, Google him. This guy was hilarious. He was everywhere. It was crazy. Now that's the 80s, basically the picture for me. Buttons bought in the 1980s and 90s in malls and novelty gift shops like Spencer's Gifts, or if you're in Canada like me, San Francisco. And if you know, you know, you'll remember it. You can probably instantly get back in that store. It allowed people to express snotty humor like farting, like nose picking, like complaining, and being old without ever having to say a word. Now, I personally experience people coming up to me on a weekly basis asking me about my flair and do I have enough flair? If you don't know what I'm talking about a little movie from 1999 called Office Space. We'll throw a little thing. Google it. If you haven't seen it, Google it, watch it, it's hilarious. Now, in the movie Office Space, waiters and waitresses work for a national food chain and are required to wear a certain amount of flair in the form of joke buttons. It's a running gag that goes throughout the film. Now, it wasn't the finest hour for buttons, as the movie portrayed them as dehumanizing. I thought it was just fun at the time. Despite all this, they still provided a significant cultural reference point. I mean, it's 24 years later, and here we are, still talking about it. I say, personally, it doesn't matter how the conversation starts, though. It's always a good chance to talk about my buttons and what they stand for. So, again, I don't care how the conversation starts, as long as it does start. Personally, I've got a few I'll just bring to your attention, like equal pay. This means a lot to me. Disability rights are human rights. Tolerating racism is racism. You can say whatever you want, guys. You can also just have fun with it. You can have things like this. Razor Ramon, Legends Never Die. Whatever you want, guys. Let's see some buttons, though. Who's got a button maker? Who's gone out and got one? Who's made some buttons? Who has more than me? Give me some comments. Give me some likes. Give me some subscribers. Let me see ya. Let me hear ya. See you next time. Fun with Buttons. Brian the Button Man, out.